Welcome back to Finnegan's Farm, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and welcome back to Workshop Wednesday. My name is Paul, and this is our team.
Hello, I'm Mick, and I'm the mechanic.
Hello, I'm Caelan Russell, and I'm the mechanic.
Hello, I'm Sean, I'm the apprentice mechanic.
Hello, my name is Marco. I love to weld. This is Bruce, this is Blake. Them two best students.
Don't forget to like, subscribe to the videos, and comment if you want, and we will get back to you. In for repair today, we have our John Deere 7710, John Deere 7810. We have the Toyota Land Cruiser, the Scanstone Ridger, and the 430 Grimme planter. Big shout out to Shane Mathis, who actually turned 6 on the 6th, which is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Shane. Cathal forgot to put it in last week's video, so I got the job, so happy birthday, lad. So first of all, we head over to Caelan and Sean there with the 7810.
It's the closest I'll get to calving a cow anyway. I feel like Jackie at the minute, so
We still have issues with our 7810. Thought we had a quick, the guys came up the other day from Kilberry because the load sensing valve wasn't really working the last time.
We found out it was working fine, but we were compensating with the spool valves because it's always at max pressure.
So when you would release the spool valve or pull the spool valve back, because it would sense pressure to it, then it would work then.
Yeah. So the issue was that when the elevator was running, you weren't able to lift the front of the back of the stoner. And then when we flow tested it, it came out around 30 litres per minute, and it should be up over 60. So it was at half the output it should be at. So
which unfortunately means that the hydraulic pump seems to be a bit goosed in it.
I think so, yeah.
Now we have one on order. It's not a cheap fix, let me tell you. It's not a cheap fix for hydraulic pump, but we're kind of...
We need the tractor.
We need the tractor, yeah. We need the tractor to go, so we need to get the hydraulic pump out. And of course it is buried underneath the cab there, and
it's a lovely job today.
I see a lot of big spanners here, so I'd say it's not going to be so easy. But Caelan is on the job, Sean is on the assist, and we will get the job sorted.
Big spanners, big bows, and we'll walk through it.
Eventually. It's confession time here, I think, Cathal, is it?
Yeah.
What happened?
I bent the lift arms on the 7710.
Yeah, so the pickup pitch link rods, as you can see here, this was one. Now, that bit looks okay, but this bit is broke. And how did it happen, Cathal?
Well, sorry, there's too much distraction going on. Went to pick a trailer up, and I wasn't in on the hook, it was actually in on the base itself. And when I lifted, the eye got stuck in behind here, and
put pressure on the lift rod.
Yeah.
Bent one lift rod. Well, actually pull the threads off one lift rod. Now the threads were
no, on. The threads, I'd say, were gone before me.
Well, they're gone now anyway, for definite. And broke this other one, so we need to get a rod. So on the finish up, we had to send the man off shopping to get 2 lift rods. Now, as you can see here, and Sean is on the camera today, a little bit of a bend on that, so that we'll have to get Marco straightening that.
And the other side.
And the other side looks a bit. So these will drop in between here and here. Yeah, so he's becoming a bit of a John B now.
It's because I will actually own up to it, because these things happen. But anyway, Caelan wasn't that busy in the workshop, so he said, look, it's fine, I'll look after it. So we need to just get Marco to straighten them, fit them, and no one will ever remember I done it.
So last week you would have seen us with the Scanstone Ridger. We were getting it ready there before we went out. We did notice a bit of play in some of the bodies themselves, so Marco brought him in here, he had a check on it there. Found bushings here in these pins. So this is where it pivots on a lot of pressure on these bodies there in the working position, and we decided we'd change the bushings. We took the bushings out, and there was some of them gone, some of them weren't too bad. We said we would replace them. So we went to the last body, and we've seen a much bigger problem. As you can see, the bushing in here, well, this bushing sits into this, but it's split here at the back. So I'm afraid it's machine shop for this one.
Yeah.
We're going to get new bushings for this, and then hopefully we'll have it right.
Pump it up.
Pump it up, pump it up. Caleb Russell, you sitting in my seat there?
Yeah, sure, so I'll give it a go on, you know.
Huh?
We'll see where we get down.
Well, I hope you have a haul ready for me to go, have you? What's up? I see you there routing the cameras there, are you?
Yeah, well look, we have we're after putting a new cable in just because we're running into issues where we thought we'd everything working, everything was working. Then we said we pull it through and get a bit more slack. And if one cable goes down with a short, it'll pull everything down. So we just says we change, so we're trying it up here first before we actually go ahead and fit it.
Connect it externally before you.
And there we go.
There's 4 cameras, as you can see up there.
Now we have to fall back again. Now that one there that has the lines on it, there was one camera that was actually down as well.
Yeah.
So we're after doing away with that one, so we have this camera fitted in place now.
So this is our other Grimme camera, which has the 4 cameras on the 4 different planting elements. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can set this on auto. I think if you hold this button here, it'll flash, and then we just key in the 3, 4, and set it, and it should flick 1, 2, 3, 4. So it keeps it on from one to the other. So just you don't have to do that. So that is a good job. And now we have the 4 cameras up here.
You see plenty behind you now.
Yeah, I have time to look at them now, that'll be the thing. 8430 back on its usual there on the 7.4 reversible there.
Finally back.
Finally back, but we had a few little problems there with it, hadn't we?
Yeah, so we had to do the draft bar now on either side. It was very bad. Now it was only the top and bottom, because there's 2 bushings that you put in and have to be kind of shimmed up to tighten up on the bar. But we could grab the bar and lift it up and down. She was nearly half an inch.
The importance of a draft bar, correct one working properly, what is the?
Well, it's for the actual draft control.
Yeah.
So as the draft, even though the bar might be 2.5 inches thick, it still flexes. So as it flexes with the pole, there's a strip that's on the front of it, and as it bends, it's acting on a sensor, and it can detect the pull that's on the bar, or the bend that's on the bar.
So as the pull comes on the tractor, obviously the plough should lift to give the tractor a little bit of a push on. So that's the benefit of having that. Now as Caleb says, we had a bit of play in it, and now is the time to do it there because he's a lot of ploughing ahead on.
Yeah.
And he needs to kind of make sure that.
The other thing as well then was we had to take the hitch off to do that job.
Yeah, so we decided to leave it off.
Yeah, sure. The hitch is never used, and like the hitch itself would sit down even lower than this, and sure after again, and I don't know how many inches of ground clearance now.
Yeah, and then we did take off the hitch, then the amount of clay and muck that was built up and kind of built in around it, and obviously we don't really use that. It might have been mucked a few years ago, but certainly now it's more or less sitting in the plough all the time. So we're going to put it on a pallet, put it up out of the way, and maybe someday we might need it.
It turns into a tie maybe.
Yeah. So now it's time for
Tips and tricks.
Well, in this week's tips and tricks, we have Mick here, who has a little bit of a follow-on from last week with the Land Cruiser and the brake calipers. Now, we did replace 2 new brake calipers on it, because some said it was pulling to the front right, or some said it was the front left. We weren't just sure, but we took off.
And to be fair, the calipers weren't overly pricey.
No,
they were reasonable.
They were reasonable, so it was just, we said we'd just do the 2 of them.
Change the 2 of them, then we're sure. But
so we went to Mick being Mick, wasn't happy about which one was actually seized, and Mick being Mick decided he'd have a go and see which one was seized. So we've connected a bit of an airline here, acting really as your brake fluid pushing in, and when we put the pressure on it there now, you can see the pad.
that's just to bring the pads out. But my main interest, you can see here now, when that backs off just slightly so it'll come out. But if you watch here, this is a handy tool, homemade.
Homemade,
It puts in dead square press. You can't push pistons crooked. They have to be dead square going back in. And you can see there, those 2, that one and this one are free. Yeah. But this one is absolutely solid. You didn't see that.
We didn't see that little spurt of oil there that actually, all right.
This E just stood in front of it.
Right, yeah, okay. So this one here, this is the one that's seized. So yeah, you were right.
We're happy.
No,
no, I had a very good
oh yeah, you knew it all. You knew it all along, didn't you, Mick? Yeah.
I had a very good advisor.
Yeah, very good. All right.
Thanks to Macker.
That's this week's tips and tricks. So continuing on from last week's Fair in the World, we got a great response to this week's Fair in the World, and I'm going to name them out here. We JJ Woods from Leitrim, Martin Brennan from Kilkenny, Jared Heaney from Boston, Noel Walsh Tipperary, Naglis Nerikia, I think, from Lithuania, Patrick Hyon from Mana, Liam Donoghue, Galway, Power King, Connecticut and USA, Fraser McIntosh from Scotland, Magnum Cam from New Zealand, Andrew Porter, Western Australia, Louis Tracy, originally Baldonnel, now in Australia, Blaine Rioch in Scotland, Robert Geddes in Australia, Dylan McCormick, another man in County Meath, good local man, Duncan Leach from Glasgow in Scotland, Ant Morgan, who says the home of hurling in Tipperary, Luke O'Brien from down the road in County Meath, we've Keane McCarthy, West Cork, Ger Griffith, Tipperary, Christy Casey, Killorglin, County Kerry, Adrian Butts, a Cork man now living in Israel, I think, Neil Hanley from Limerick, in Birmingham, New Zealand. We have Mark Swain, another Navan man, Decal Sheds, who says last week, actually he got the correct answer with Mick Seiler, so I have to give you a shout out to that one. County Derry man, John G. Bernards from Oregon in USA, Adam McGuigan in Whistler in Canada, Peter Dykes from Western Australia, Ian from Westlock, Alberta in Canada, Noah O'Sullivan, Kilkenny, I think, which is the home of hurling as well, Cian Mungy from central Finland, and Freddie Madallan, I think, from Geelong in Australia. So just on the leaderboard then, we have Australia in 7, Meath on 4, Kerry on 3, Scotland on 3, USA, Tipperary, Cork, Donegal on 2, Fermanagh on 2, Derry on 2, and Canada on 2. So at the minute, Australia are really well in the lead. So lads, get your comments in for this week. Let us know where you're from in the world. We want to know, and yeah, put them in and we'll see you on next week. So that's it for this week's Workshop Wednesday. Hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the video there, comment what you want, and we will get back to you. So from everyone here at Finnegan's Farm, we'll talk to you all next Wednesday.